Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hobart begins now.
Good evening. First tonight, there's been tragedy at Cradle Mountain. A man falling to his death in front of horrified friends while on a climb. Our reporter Tom Johnson has the details. And Tom, police made the grim discovery this afternoon.
They did, Louise. The man fell at around 11 o'clock this morning, and word came through from police that he'd been found some 4.5 hours later. He was one of 4 people climbing what's known as Weindorfer Tower, which is Cradle Mountain's 3rd highest summit and stands prominently from the Dove Lake lookout. Bad weather stopped a rescue helicopter from accessing the area, so a ground crew was sent in to find him. When they arrived, the man, believed to be in his 30s, was found deceased, having fallen from a significant height. The other 3 in the party are distressed but safe and have made their way out. Police note the crew was experienced and had all the right safety gear. They'll find out more when they speak to the others on the climb. Lou?
Just awful news. Thanks for that, Tom. South Hobart residents have been left shaken after a dramatic incident involving fireworks late last night. Witnesses fearing the worst as fire took hold of a nearby property. Our reporter Brianna Boylan has the details.
It was here on Hewen Road where things took a turn for the worse when illegal fireworks were allegedly set off, sparking a blaze at around 10:30 last night. 2 crews arrived on scene soon after to find flames lighting up the street in the dark of night. Smoke billowing from the property's hedge with sirens and crackling heard from afar. Witnesses were shocked by the scale of the flames. One woman says even re-watching the video has been traumatising. It took more than an hour for emergency services to extinguish the fire. The house was miraculously unscathed. Neighbours have told 7 Tasmania News a party was happening down the road and they heard a loud bang shortly before the chaos erupted. They believe a group of drunken men set off fireworks. Firework wrappers, debris and a Sol whiskey can supporting their claims. Police were here last night but are yet to weigh in on the incident. Neighbours now watching closely, revealing it's not the first time they've had issues with fireworks in the past 6 months.
The Racing Minister is facing pressure to explain what's being investigated in the upcoming review of the harness racing industry. Both the state opposition and the Greens want Madeleine Ogilvie to front up to the public, accusing her of going into hiding.
They say timing is everything. A 2-page statement at 2 p.m. on a Saturday is how the terms of reference for the inquiry into Tasmania's harness racing industry was released. Coming 2 hours after the Premier's press conference, the Racing Minister also didn't face the media. Labor and the Greens want answers.
Well, isn't that telling? Again, the Racing Minister hiding from scrutiny or explanation.
I think it's pretty clear the Racing Minister is in hiding because of this inquiry. She is under enormous pressure.
Speaking to the media today, the Skills Minister had a differing take.
Look, things are announced all the time. I mean, we're doing this press conference on a Sunday.
Also expressing confidence in what will be investigated.
We don't want to be doing some kind of knee-jerk, shut down the industry type approach when a considered, timely, practical review is really important.
However, the Greens say the scope is too narrowly focused.
The terms of reference are focused around compliance with the rules of harness racing. It's a review, it's not an investigation.
The government also facing calls to get acting on the state's housing shortage. The housing dashboard revealing waiting times have hit nearly 80 weeks, well above this time last year. While waitlist numbers have stabilised, it's still up over 12 months.
We have hit a record that really nobody should want to hit. These statistics are getting worse month on month on month.
We've acknowledged that there is an issue in terms of public housing in Tasmania. That's why we've developed the Homes Tasmania strategy.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Launceston's Ukulele Jamboree has hit all the right notes, with music fans banding together for the event's third year. And there's no doubting their love for the instrument, with one local band's name very much a play on words.
Striking a chord with audiences, it was standing room only as players packed Pilgrim Hall for a Sunday sing-along. The open mic event, hosted by local group the Ukuleles, giving players a chance to strum their stuff.
Oh, it's been fabulous. We've had a great time. There's so many pockets of ukes all around, and they've all come together for this event.
Uke duet The Wild Women of Anywhere Beach, making the trip south to wow crowds with their original music. The Jamboree's third year proving a major success, with workshops selling out and Brisbane Street Mall taken over by a ukulele flash mob. Players singing the praises of event organisers.
For sort of a new festival, only 3 years in, it's amazing how smooth it all is.
Music to the ears of ukulele fans. Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
A new look Employer of Choice program is hoping to give local businesses an edge in attracting and keeping staff in a tight labour market. With Tasmania's unemployment rate at historic lows, employers are getting creative to attract new workers.
My job ads have really changed, and it's not now just what I'm looking for, but what I can offer for the employee.
Those looking to be recognised as an employer of choice need to undergo a rigorous interview process, including site visits.
When those businesses are out in the labour market, they'll have the employer of choice certificate behind them to say that they are an excellent place for people to come and work.
Applications for the program open tomorrow. Two local talents have had major victories in the boxing and MMA rings. Launceston's Dan Hill claimed a welterweight title in Brisbane, while Hobart-born razor Rob Wilkinson began his professional fighting league title defence with a dominant display.
Using surgical precision in the ring, Rob Wilkinson is proving why he's called the Razor. The reigning Professional Fighters League world champion finding vocal support from some in the Las Vegas crowd. The Hobart fighter's height and wingspan an advantage against Brazilian former UFC fighter Thiago Santos. Famous for his grappling skills, Razor Rob had the edge when down on the mat.
But I did have the pleasure of spending a day with Rob Wilkinson in the gym, and I assure you he does not lack for strength in positions like this.
The matchup going all the way to 3 rounds, with the Tassie talent named the victor by unanimous decision. The victory bringing his record to 18 wins and just 2 losses. While in Brisbane last night, identical starting weight and height made for an even matchup between Dan Hill and Victor Nagby.
Good shot there from Nagby. And there's the receipt there from Dan Hill as he throws 3 and 4 punches coming forward.
The Launceston bruiser getting the engine running against the Australian welterweight champion.
Fighting well beyond his experience as Dan Hill, and he's not scared of a challenge.
A skill for seeing punches before they arrive, serving the 26-year-old well. A nervous wait for a decision after going 10 rounds.
From the red corner, Dan the Engine Hill!
Hill snatching the title and keeping his unbeaten record intact. Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
Some of the country's best runners were up and racing early this morning in the Hobart Marathon, with records tumbling. Amateur and professionals pounded the streets around Hobart in search of a personal best. Tasmania's Millie Clark was too strong in the women's, crossing the finish line in 2 hours 53 minutes, smashing the race record by nearly 22 minutes. While in the men's, Dion Finocchiario defended his title, the Victorian winning in just under 2.5 hours, beating the record he set last year by 38 seconds. The Hobart Chargers men's NBL 1 title defence has started with a loss, going down to the Northwest Thunder 80-70 last night. The Thunder started strongly, but the Chargers fought back to level the game at the main break. Northwest took control after half-time, with Joe Tilkett leading the way with a game-high 20 points.
Cut off the driving lane there.
Oh, Joe's
Joe
open.
Oh, all day and all night there for Joe Chilcott.
In the women's, a 23.28 second quarter helped the Tornadoes sweep past the Chargers. Olivia West having a night out for Launceston, scoring 31 points in the 92-53 victory. In the NPL, Kingborough has jumped to third on the ladder after thumping Clarence this afternoon. The Lions roaring to life early on, taking just 4 minutes to open their account. 3 goals inside the first 25 minutes, including this stunning strike, putting the result beyond doubt by half-time. Kingborough adding a few extra goals in the second half, eventually winning 6-3. Elsewhere, Devonport returned to the top of the table, defeating Launceston City 2-0 at Valley Road last night.
Good evening. A mostly fine day across the state today. Hobart 20 degrees, 19 for Launceston and Burnie, and Devonport 18. 21 today at Bushy Park, St Helens 20, Maria Island, Grove and the Friendly Beaches all 19, 18 at Smithton, Lowhead and on Flinders Island, King Island and Strawn 17. Clouds seen here crossing to the west of the state today and some thin high-level cloud about the east. Low-level cloud sits over parts of southeastern Australia and a broad area of cloud covers most of WA, extending through central Australia to Queensland. Tomorrow a high sits over the Tasman Sea, extending a ridge over southeastern Australia, while several troughs are affecting northern and western Australia. Northwesterly winds 10 to 20 knots, lighter and more variable about the north and east during the afternoon and evening, swells up to 3 metres. Hobart, a partly cloudy day tomorrow, 20 degrees, 19 and cloudy at Dover, and a possible shower for Ooze 20. 20 in Launceston, partly cloudy, Devonport, partly cloudy 19, 18 in Scottsdale and cloudy there. Cloudy in Burnie 18, showers and 17 at Strawn and 19 in Stanley with a shower or 2. Partly cloudy conditions for St Helens and Ross 20 and Swansea 21. Looking ahead now to Tuesday, light showers about the southwest, otherwise fine apart from possible morning fog. Wednesday, patchy morning fog, then a fine day with the chance of showers about the west and far south during the day and northeast later in the day. And Thursday, showers about the northeast extending to the north and east during the afternoon, increasing in the evening. A sunny day ahead for Perth tomorrow, 17. Sunny also in Adelaide, 24. Canberra, 22, partly cloudy. And a mostly sunny 23 degrees in Melbourne. Right now in Hobart it's 15 and mostly cloudy, Launceston 14 and partly cloudy, and Devonport 14 and partly cloudy. And Lou, I hope you got to sleep in this morning with the extra hour.
I actually got up really early to catch the sun. Thanks for that, Carmen. And that's all your news for this Sunday evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. Kim and the team will see you tomorrow. Good night.